We're here, the New Money Fight Club. I'm Steve O'Connell, Cristobal Gonzalez, and we're here with the man himself, Eddie Abasolo. Thank you for doing this with us, brother.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I'm super excited for this interview. Yeah, I've been visualizing this moment for the past maybe 6 months, and I was a little bit shy to ask you because you're Eddie, but I was like, it has to be the right moment. And I think now, with your fight coming up in one against Luke Lessay, which is going to be a banger. Yeah. It's going to be the determining fight for who is the Muay Thai badass of North America.
Yeah.
Of course, you are the badass.
Hey,
but yeah, it's going to be an amazing fight. But first of all, you know how the first time I heard your name?
How?
I was at a PKB. This was my first PKB ever. This was years ago, and one of my teammates, she was really she admired you as a fighter. So what she did in warm-ups was she would warm up watching your fight.
Oh, wow.
Right, yeah. She would warm up watching your fight and kind of like shadow box you. And I come in all like, oh, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah,
so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna shadow box against that guy you're shadow boxing with. So she's shadow boxing with you. I'm like,
yeah.
And I start shadow boxing, and we're like against, we're like standing next to each other, kind of warming up. And I'm like, oh, I can definitely beat this guy. And as the round keeps going on, and like I see your style, I'm like, oh shit, he's really good. So that was my first time, like knowing who you are as Eddie Abasolo, So
to feel that, even just like watching and shadow boxing, you know what I mean? It's like that's pretty awesome. To feel that through the phone.
It was a great workout. Like, it always kept in my mind because it's like, for me, I was taking the offensive against the person, and you go back and forth. But yeah, it was a good warm up.
That's what's up.
Now you guys get to train together all the time.
All the time. No, I learned a lot from this man. Yeah. You have a very. I think I explained it to you once, and maybe let me paraphrase it or rephrase it. Because. Like I come, I train with you, I observe you, I see how you train, and you do weird things, right? And I mean it in the best way possible. For example, like you're juggling and then at the same time you're at the balance board, right? And you're juggling at the same time, and like you're doing the balance board as well, and then hitting the uppercut bag, the hook bag. And for me, when I see those things, like, it's not, it's doing weird things. It's like you're figuring out like a next phase in understanding. It's not about punching or punching power, but it's more about like understanding your body, your physical capabilities, and what it's able to do. Yeah. So I think I remember one telling you, it's like, I admire you, and I think that you're like almost like a savant genius in terms of, because you don't come at it as like a fighter, but you come at it as like a acrobat, like understanding your body and how your body now can relate to in terms of Muay Thai. That art.
I feel like I'm just a big kid. You know what I mean? Like anything that you see me doing, if I let my sons, if I just throw them in here and let them run loose, you'll see everything all over the place, you know what I mean? Because they're constantly putting stuff together, playing with it. Look what I made, this and that. The way they play with certain things, they're having fun, and there's like no rules. It's funny because a lot of the times when we look at stuff, you're supposed to hit the bag like this. You're supposed to hit that bag like this. You're supposed to play with this like this. You're supposed to use this like this, and that's a good base. But then to start thinking outside the box and not put a label on everything, it's like, man, look, I could play with this way. As a kid, I remember at recess, only go down the slides, don't run up the slides, don't walk on top of the monkey bars. You got to swing across them. We'd get in trouble from the yard duties. But it's just like, man, it's what kids do, and just the fact that I love Muay Thai, I don't even have to think, how does this correlate or how does this relate to Muay Thai? It just comes, kind of like it's just a crush on Muay Thai. When you got a crush on someone, no matter where you go, that reminds me of this person, or man, like whatever you eat, whatever you smell, whatever song, it's like, man, everything reminds you of that person. You don't have to try. It just reminds you of, what I mean? So like, I'm just in here, I'm in here so much that I just start to like wander.
So you're never going to break up with Muay Thai then?
Nah.
It's forever.
It's forever. Yeah.
Forever.
So you don't have a crush. Basically, you're married to Muay Thai.
Oh yeah. And marriage is hard work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's the work that I love to do. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, because you just spoke. You have children, right? You have three kids.
Yeah.
How old are they?
My youngest son is 5. My oldest son is 9, and my oldest daughter is 14.
And they're on the mat here a lot?
Yeah. They come in here and they take the kids class, they hit the bags. When the ring is free, the kids will come in here, they all put on the gloves and start fighting each other. You know what I mean? Hurting each other. There's a lot of crying. But after they have their little tantrum or cry or this and that, he was being mean to me or he or she, whatever, they're right back playing with each other.
Yeah.
You know? So it's really character building, I feel like, for them.
And then how? So you, because it's great to see that you bring your own kids to. It's like you bring them to your work. They aren't in your kind of environment.
Yeah.
How is that like being a father? Because sometimes I take your class and then I hear the kids screaming or doing something, and then you turn around and it's like, "Hey, kids, quiet!"
Yeah,
and then the class continues. Yeah.
It's just like we're at home. Like this is home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, man, I don't feel like it's unprofessional at all. I just feel like if you're in here, you're in my house and you're a guest, but I may have to tell the kids, hey, settle down. Like if we're chilling at your house and you got some kids and they're upstairs, you just hear thumping all over the place, you know. You may have to pause the party and be like, hey, calm down. I'm having a party downstairs or whatnot. But it's, I love it, man, because for the majority of my career, maybe been out here we're in Pleasanton now, and I lived in Vallejo. So we've been here for maybe 2 or 3 years. I've been doing this for 16 years. But for the majority of my career, I was training in Dublin while we lived in Vallejo. Right?
That's a long way.
Yeah.
Was it like a 40-minute drive? 50 minute? Yeah.
50 to an hour, depending on traffic. If you leave 5 minutes difference can make a...
Like a 20-minute, the butterfly effect just keeps going.
Yeah. And man, it was hard. There was plenty of times where my daughter would be chasing, like as a baby, she'd be chasing me out the door crying because she don't want me to leave, because I'd be gone all day. There's no point in coming all the way to Dublin, training in the morning, going back to Vallejo, paying gas, paying toll, you know what I mean, then coming back to train again. So when I'd be out here, I'm here all day. So there's plenty of times I would cry on the way to the gym, but I feel like it made it worth it, because when I'm at the gym or when I'm away, I'm not bullshitting. You know what I mean? I'm making a sacrifice. I'm sacrificing time. So if I'm in the gym, I'm not playing around. Like I'm friendly and I can joke around, but I'm here to work. So I was just always working, and I'd be out here all day. It got to the point to where I would leave at 4:30 in the morning, and then not be home till 10 or 11.
Right.
So it's like there would be days where I wouldn't see my kids awake for like 3 days straight, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When I leave, I give them a kiss in their sleep, and I'm out. I come home, they're already asleep, give them a kiss, and I'm go to sleep, get ready for the next day, over and over and over. So, like, having them here, it means more than I can express. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love it.
So you took a few years to build your life around your training so you could have your family all close here now around the Resistance.
I would say about a decade.
Yeah. That's a while to build that, to slowly move the family from Vallejo. And you opened this spot here in Pleasanton about 3 years ago, you said?
Yeah. 2020.
Okay. Yeah.
End of 2020.
That must have been a journey. How did that journey start?
What?
To getting your own gym.
To have your own gym, yeah.
It started, man, I feel like the pandemic was a blessing to a lot of people. You know, it was definitely a blessing to us. It was crazy, I guess, surreal. You know, like as we're in here and like looking at what we had to tear down and what, you know, visualizing, okay, backs can go there, this and that. Hella times I was just like, man, is this really happening?
Yeah.
Like, man, we got, you know, first it was, okay, let's do this. It was an idea.
Right.
All right, you know, talk it out, how we're gonna play it and execute and this and that. And I was like, all right. And then all of a sudden it's, okay, let's sign the LLC. And I'm like, all right, you know. Next thing you know, it's like, all right, we're looking at places. You know what I mean? And it's like, man, okay.
It's
like,
really happening.
Are we really doing it? And then we got a place. And then it's like, dang, like, I remember looking around here. There used to be an office right here, a big-ass office. You know what I mean? We tore
right here and where we're
sitting.
Okay.
Yeah, we tore it down, you know. And like in that process, it's like, man, we really doing this, you know? And I was super excited because I couldn't wait to share what I've learned over the years and just, you know, share the journey with a whole bunch of people and help build a culture that I think is beneficial to society, basically. You know what I mean?
Yep. So now you've been open for 3 years.
Yeah.
It's been fantastic.
It's a beautiful spot too. This is one of the most beautiful gyms in the Bay.
Thank you. Yeah, I love it here, man. And within 3 years isn't that long, but man, I'm sure you guys can attest because you guys been a part of the journey as well. That, man, like even looking at the pictures over there, we've done some, all of us, you know, from the lowest level to the highest level. Like we've done some great things already.
Yeah, just looking at the dry erase board over there, it's just fighter after fighter lined up with fights through the whole spring. You got months planned out. How many active fighters are on the team here?
Man,
looks like possibly 20.
Yeah, 20 at the least.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
And we still got people with ambitions of fighting who are working hard to, you know, get their name on the board because they want to fight, you know, stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and incredible mentors. You know, so you got amateurs that are holding belts now in MMA and in Muay Thai.
Yeah.
Right. There's a lot of people for the next generation to be looking up to.
Yeah, man, that's fun. And they're doing a phenomenal job, in my opinion. Like, I'm looking at the people who are coming up. That I would say they're more like in the middle. You know what I mean? Of their journey. We're all on this journey together, but we're all on different parts of our journey. You know what I mean? Some people are just beginning. Some people are like, got it figured out. This is what they want to do. Some people are still trying to figure out if they want to do this. And some people are like fully dedicated. But regardless of where they are in the journey, I feel like the culture that we've built here is to set a good example for the next, you know? Like it's one thing that I've learned through my journey is in watching others do what they do. I feel like where some people fail is, I would say, you know, your team, your fighters, your whatever's hot, it would be like the same as a crop, you know. They harvest the crop and they, you know, they benefit from it, but forget to like plant for next year, and you know what I mean? And that's the culture of people like helping other people. And you know, it's hard to not have an ego as a fighter. You need to have an ego, you know, but at the same time we need to know when to check it, you know, and then so we can help others. You know what I mean? Yeah,
I definitely have that family feel. Every time I go to a show around here, I see the resistance team all sitting together. It's always a big mob of folks. Usually you got a bunch of fighters on the card, but it's a lot of support, family members and stuff. And you always are hanging together. It's I always notice that about you guys.
Yeah, man, we're just one big ass family.
I mean, that's how you end all your lessons. Get all together, family.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. That's how we all end.
Yeah. I mean, shoot, man. You never know. You never know. Just by breaking and reminding everyone that we're family, at the end, can make someone. You never know. There may be someone in the class that doesn't feel like they're a part of anything.
Mm-hmm.
And just having that small little break, like, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. And the tension is kind of relieved.
Yeah.
Relieved, yeah.
Yeah.
I get you.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Yeah, it's such a sanctuary here.
Yeah.
You can really feel that.
You try that.
So 2 weeks from now, well, in a week you're flying out to Thailand.
Yeah.
And you're going to face Luke Lessie, right? So it's for one kickboxing. This is for the crown of the baddest kickboxer, the baddest Muay Thai fighter in North America, I would say.
Basically, we're two dudes from the U.S. that do what we do very well, And in this weight class, I feel like this would be bragging rights for who's the man, who's the man in the U.S.
So now this is when the ego comes in play, right?
Well, Luke was a little bit of a fan of yours, wasn't he, at first, right?
Yeah. And, I can definitely see with some of his movement and how I could have inspired him and whatnot. Not saying that he's not homegrown, but at the same time, it's just like we have similar thought processes when it comes to the way we dance. There are basic rules, but we dance to our own beat.
Mm-hmm.
And we break certain rules, and we're creative when we do what we do. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like I must attest that I'm the man. That's all I gotta say is I'm the man.
Fuck yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that for me, what was interesting is because you both have this very creative way of doing Muay Thai.
Yeah.
And it's going to be fascinating to watch. Like, he has his own style, like he's developed.
Yeah.
His way of doing it. I'm a fan of looking at it.
Yeah.
But then you have your own, like, silky smooth. You have, and it's very creative. You process it differently.
Yeah.
And I want to see that match come together.
Yeah.
And have, like you said, that bragging right. Who is the main man in the U.S.? Yeah. It's going to be an exciting fight, man.
Yeah.
He's long, right? He's got a good reach,
He's got good reach, I fight a lot of tall guys, though, so it's not like it's anything new to me. No. I have my process on how to, I feel like I can adjust. I feel like that's one of my powers. Isn't just that I'm smooth, but I feel like I have a proper ability to adjust to whatever circumstances in front of me.
Yeah, and I've learned from you a couple of times in some seminars, and I've sparred a lot with your student here, and it's taken me a long time to figure out, what he's taken from you, because he just pieced me up. And then what I learned now I'm starting to get it though.
Yeah. The area thing.
I'm learning, and I learned from the seminars too about how patient you are.
Yeah.
You'll let I don't know what your game plan is going into this, but I really see that once you explain that to me, and then I realize what he's doing the first minute or two of the round.
Yeah.
He's letting me just do my thing and show off. He's very patient and waiting, and then turning it on, always ready to counterpunch, always ready to retaliate, but really letting me, just make useless moves sometimes. Just be very patient. That's what I get that from your style, that, you're like bringing them into the web.
Yeah.
Right?
Patient with a sense of urgency. It's, it's a fine line. We just can't be patient and just, let things happen. We have to be making things happen as we let things happen, and let things happen as we're making things happen, bouncing back and forth. But we need to have intent and a sense of urgency, or else we'll get caught sleeping if we're just sitting here being patient, But it is a sense of relaxation, and the only way we can get that is through repetition, Yeah. The same way that we stare at the road when we're driving is the same. It's just because of all the reps we had. The first couple times we start driving, we're like, oh, you know what I mean? But then just because we do it all day, all night, like we can look at it. We can be on our phone and not even watch the road. We shouldn't, but, at the same time, it's just like that type of comfortable and calmness. If something hops out from the side of the street, quickly I'll know how to step on the gas, and know which way to swerve,
Mm-hmm. No, I get the same thing with motorcycles. Like I ride, and I haven't rode.
Yeah.
My English is coming back. Don't worry. I'm not at a great level, but I get the feeling there's moments where you're still learning, like how does this work, but there's just this moments where you just get a little bit better, and suddenly everything starts to make sense, and then the moments where you need to react, everything comes together right away. And I feel the same thing with Muay Thai. It's like the when you break that barrier is the moment where you realize, oh, this is how it works. This is how it functions. This is how I can connect this with this and this. And then what I like about your teaching style is that you come at it from the basics. You say that from the beginning. Like everything is connected with each other. Like I even wrote this down in my journal. I think one time you were explaining, like, think of it as like your left arm, your right arm, your right leg, left leg, like everything's separate. How you move it is up to you. And then I had to draw it like individually, right? You come in at basic, like one thing leads to another, it all mixes up. So it's like you have a way of explaining things that kind of visually click, at least for me. And I think for a lot of the students here, it's like, all right, I get it. Things start to make sense.
I just try to simplify things as much as possible, and not worry about if my point is going to get across or not, because there have been times where if I worry about, did my point get across? People, like when you're teaching a group of people, they're processing in their head. So you get this like blank stare, like
you don't know. You're like, are you listening to me?
Yeah. But they are.
They are. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And everyone hears something different because again, we're all in a different part of our journey. If I tell 5 people a story, I just told like 6 different stories. Because everyone heard something different. But everyone heard what they needed to hear at the moment. So it's just like, I'm just going to try to make it as simple as possible. Trust that everyone's going to hear what they need to hear at the moment, grasp what they need. And don't try to over-explain too much, because funny thing is I find that the more we try to explain something, the further away we actually get from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the more you try to define it, put it in a box, it's different for everybody. And it's the repetitions that are going to teach them, right? Yeah.
If you're truly in search for the knowledge, you got to do the digging for the gems. I could tell you where to dig, but you got to do the digging. There's gems right here. Okay. I'll stand here. It's like, no, you got to dig now. You got to dig. Again and again. I don't know how deep it is. So for some people, it's deeper than others, but you got to do the work.
And do you see that right away with the different students you have, or does it take time?
See what?
Like how much they have to dig. Or it's like, oh, here's the class, I'm out. You figure it out. And then come back with more questions.
I guess I can see, in a sense of which ones, if I teach a class, certain people will come and ask me to elaborate a little bit more, on what they understood. That's step 1. That's the first thing that I notice. But then the second thing I notice is, what do you do after the elaboration? Okay, thanks. You grab your backpack and get out of here. Or do you go on the bag and actually try or do I see you shadowboxing, actually trying to get what we just elaborated on? You know, if you truly were curious about what you asked me, and you truly wanted to get it, like, wouldn't you try and act it out? You know, while it's fresh, while we just got done talking about it.
Right.
Like, I'm not saying you got to go on the bag and start doing 100 kicks and go hard on it, but if I can see that you're at least trying to, like, you know what I mean, put into motion what we talked about, then it's like, oh, okay, that person, they're gonna be like, they would have to dig less, but they're digging in that process.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, they'll find it quicker.
People sometimes have to learn how to be students too.
Yeah.
You know, and it shows respect if you give them specific instruction on something and then they immediately go and implement it.
Yeah.
I think that's a really great gesture as a student. Not only, I mean, it's what you should be doing, but also it shows you're serious. You're actually listening and taking it to heart.
Yeah.
And that skill, some people don't, you know, maybe they didn't learn how to learn that way.
Yeah.
So you can, by I'm sure you got other students that are leading by example. You know, they see you doing the reps. They see you trying to implement new stuff, and they're learning how to learn.
Yeah.
How to dig.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. It's definitely contagious. More times than not, if you guys hang around after class, you'll see people doing extra. Always doing extra. You know what I mean? And I get it. Some people, like, they only have so much time, you know? So it's like, man, they got to get to, they got a schedule to keep. They got to get to the next, you know what I mean? But the people who do have the time, I feel like most of the time, are in here doing extra work. Everyone's asking each other, hey, you want to go 50-50 on some pad work? Or you want to clinch? Or you want to spar? Or whatever, you know what I mean? Everyone's constantly working on their craft, you know? So I feel like that's the culture, you know?
Well, it goes back to the radio. It feels like a family, like literally like a family. And I like it because in different gyms, like, we notice, like, it's more focused on the fighters, it's more focused on this, it's like a different, but here it's really, you guys are like building from ground up. It's not about the Eddie Abasolos and the top guys, but it's really like, all right, we're coming from bottom up. Yeah. Like it's like we're lifting up everyone. Yeah.
I prefer that. Yeah. I prefer that. The soil is strong. You know what I mean? The soil is strong. Yeah, the pedals are beautiful, but the soil is strong.
Hey.
You know?
There's that metaphor.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't know this, but, you know, Eddie used to make beats and he was a poet, right? Writing lyrics, right? Yeah. Very metaphorical style.
Yeah.
Fighting in a metaphorical way, teaching metaphorically.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. You still got some of those lyric skills or no?
I don't know.
I think you do. Show me some of that ego. Of course you do.
Freestyling.
You could cut this out, right?
I never cut out anything.
Yeah.
We raw.
No pauses. No. When was the last time you made a beat?
I have this app on my phone and I just play around with it, you know.
You deleted Instagram so you can, at least you got one app on there.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it's there's a lot of overlap. A lot of musicians and martial artists. Is, you know, Bruce Lee apparently was an amazing dancer.
Yeah,
you know,
dancing is motion. You know what I mean, like how you were talking about trying to get to know your body. It's like trying to just feel good. You know, I'm sure we've all danced at least once in our life to where we just feel like we're floating. You know, maybe we had a little bit of liquor in us. You know, but still, like, we just feel good on the dance floor, you know what I mean? Yeah. Even if it's a two-step, you know what I'm saying? You feel light, you feel happy, like it just makes you, it makes you elevate, you know, in a sense. And I just feel like all motion does that if we learn to appreciate it, you know, and not, just like dancing, not be afraid to look silly, you know, when I'm doing all my balance stuff. When I first started, that almost held me back, is that, you know, people would walk as they're walking past me. This is the one I used to get a lot. if fighting don't work out for you, you can always work at Pier 39. You know what I mean, for tips.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I'm over here juggling, and I ate shit hella times. You know, trying to get the balance down and this and that. And my response was always, first they'll laugh, then they'll ask how you did it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And really, it's just because it was fun. You know, I'm just playing around, trying to get to know my body, and then now it's just like, how did you do it? You know, all the times I ate shit. We can't be afraid to look silly. You know, in order to find our groove. No one wants to be the first one dancing at the party.
Never.
You know
Unless
what I mean?
you're the old uncle with like 20 beers in.
Yeah, and you don't care.
You don't care.
The best way to start the party is to be the first one to go out there and dance as stupid as possible. That's the main thing. No one wants to look stupid. You dance as stupid as possible. Then other people are like, oh man, I'm not gonna look that stupid. I can't dance. I could dance better than that, man. You know what I mean? And they get loose.
That's the code. And
Yeah.
be stupid.
Get stupid. Very Bay Area. Get silly.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you. I lived here for almost 10 years. I'm going for 11 years. And I only found out about Mac Dre last year.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And a friend of mine, he showed me a song, and then I looked up, what's it called? Be Stupid and Feeling Myself. It was badass. Yeah.
Changed your whole life.
I feel like I'm more Bay Area now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Official.
Yeah. Official, yeah, exactly.
I remember my first time. Yeah. Because I was from the East Coast, so we only had, Biggie, and then there was the West Coast guys in the 90s, and then all of a sudden Mac Dre kind of appeared, and I knew of him. It was like the specter from NorCal.
Yeah.
Very unique sound.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm noticing. Like the Bay Area has its own thing. Like LA has like the plug to the world, the cultural center, in the sense like everything done in LA is like it spreads out everywhere naturally because it's what it is. But the Bay Area has like this hidden thing. Like it's very unique. It's not very known, but once you get to know it, it's like a very Bay Area unique thing. It's like you can find it nowhere else in the world.
High level.
Yeah, high level, and it's in everything. It's culture, and it's the music, and it's in the martial arts as well. Because if you start thinking about the martial arts here in the Bay Area, it's like everywhere. Yeah. Like Bruce Lee was here. You got the top gyms, Resistance, AKA. You got from all over. It's like it's a hub of this artistry,
Culture is just crazy, man. It's crazy. Like there's still things that I find out today that I'm like, oh, that person's from Oakland, or that person's from the Bay Area, or stuff like that. It's crazy. Like we got I think Jeff Gordon is from the Bay. Okay. You know what I mean?
Who's Jeff Gordon?
NASCAR racer.
Oh, okay,
yeah. I don't know. NASCAR racer. He's from the Bay. I think Forrest Gump's from the Bay.
Tom Hanks?
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah.
All right. We owning them.
You don't mean Mrs. Doubtfire. You mean Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that. Yeah. I knew Mrs. Doubtfire was from the Bay.
Rest in peace. Yeah. So how did you... Speaking of this, how did you get started then into the world of fighting?
I just stumbled upon it. I found something when I wasn't looking for something. It was just, I was doing music, and same thing. Like, obviously, whatever I do, I'm trying to make it.
Yeah.
But more so it's because I love it, I had a heck of stuff when I was doing music. I had a heck of stuff that no one even heard. Like, it wasn't always like me putting it out. I would just make a beat. All right, cool. I'm on to the next beat. Sometimes I'd be making 3 at once. I'd be making one, get in the middle of it, I get like, all right, I'm over this right now. I'd start a new one, different feel, and I'll come back to it, and it would re-spark, or you know what I mean? It's just like stuff like that. And then my brother-in-law, he used to sit here and like just draw, like Muay Thai stances, like figurines and stuff like that. And he was into Muay Thai. He would actually watch fights, and he put me on to Muay Thai. And I was like, man, this is pretty cool, you know. He had a heavy bag in his room.
How old are you by this time?
Like 20, 21, you know. And then it was like, oh, shoot, okay, cool. So it was just like a little side hobby, you know. We didn't train or nothing. We would just watch it and maybe hit the bag, you know. But then I ran into a friend at 24 Hour Fitness and was like, hey, what you been up to? Yeah, you know, the pleasantries and everything. And, oh, yeah, I do Muay Thai at this. I was like, what? They teach Muay Thai out here in Vallejo? We got Muay Thai gym? And he was like, yeah, over here. So I went home and I told my brother-in-law. I told Elvin. Elvin's his name. I said, hey, man. Yeah, shout out Elvin.
Started it all.
Yeah. For real. That man taught me how to watch fights. His IQ is just up there. He's just one of those people that get it, you know. But I was like, hey, man, there's a Muay Thai gym on the other side of town, you know. And so we was like, oh, shoot, let's go check it out. Went to go check it out. And really, it was a Taekwondo gym. Their name was Soaring Eagles. They're still there. But they just gave them, like, maybe this, I don't know. A corner of the mat. That's it. And there was probably about 5 of them. And the trainer. And there were some bags right there as well. So we went, checked it out. Not seriously, though. We were both drunk at the time. We went to go check it out, too, you know?
That's very Thai. Yeah, it's a very Thai way to check. Yeah.
And then it's like, all right, let's do it, you know? Start paying the monthly. Was getting fucked up by, you know, all the fighters and stuff and whatnot. Bloody nose every day. Yeah. And from there, I was just
you guys were going hard.
Yeah.
Dang, yeah.
From there, it was just like, oh, hell no, I'm not getting fucked up by these. Like, we're going to learn. Yeah. We'll learn how to, like, hang with these guys. Yeah. They were dope, you know? So that became the mission. And then once I was able to hang, then I was like, man, I'm going to, you know, try to surpass these guys. And we would cross-train with other gyms a lot, so we got a lot of looks. And I did well every time we would cross-train. And I was like, man, you know, I'm pretty good at this. I could, you know, try this thing out. And then, yeah, it just snowballed.
Did you start competing when you were at Soaring Eagle first? At that first gym?
Yeah. I had my first PKB. It was at World Team and in San Francisco. And, you know, I came out dancing, you know, on the way to the ring and like just...
Suavemente?
No, it wasn't Suavemente. But, you know, friends and family, I invited everybody. Got dropped and stopped in the first 20 seconds, you know? And it was just like, that was the most embarrassing thing that happened to me, you know? Afterwards, I was like, all right, I'm going to just train. I ain't telling nobody about what I'm doing, you know what I mean? About what I got coming up. I just need to get better, you know? Not only that, after that, things were just kind of funny at the gym, you know? I wasn't...
after the loss? Or
yeah, after the loss. I wasn't favored as much, you know, by my coach. I'd probably say not at all.
Yeah, was it that?
It was almost like a cold shoulder. It felt like it.
Oh.
You know, I don't know if it's intentional or not, but that's what I felt. It felt like a cold shoulder. So I was like, that drove me even more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna show everybody.
Prove that motherfucker.
I'm gonna show everybody. But then like things started warming up again, you know. Because I was doing tournaments with my uncle Cheyenne. There were karate tournaments, but they're like PKBs, and I was doing well. So then I got another chance to fight in PKB, and then it was just like, from then on, you know, I was determined.
How did the second fight go?
I don't even remember the second fight. I just know after that loss, I made sure. The thing is, with PKBs, they would raise both your hands. They were smokers at the time. Right. There was really no winner, you know. So I had to my goal was to make sure that no matter what, if you're watching, you know who won the fight. There was no question. You know who won. Even though we both get our hands raised, you know who won.
Yeah.
You know, everyone else knows who won. Ask anyone in here, you know who won.
Right.
You know.
It's a little bit different now. I've heard stories about those like smokers back in the day. You guys went hard.
Yeah. They were crazy, man. You just show up like, okay, some of them were in backyards. You know what I mean?
Backyard brawls.
Yeah, some of them were at gyms. Some of them were at backyards.
Yeah.
It was just
Not sanctioned, I take it.
No.
Yeah. The commission had no idea. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But it was so cool because after everyone would fight each other.
Yeah.
Wherever we were at, they'd be barbecuing, and you know everyone.
That's great.
Just kicking it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
And then when did you move on then from Vallejo and you found yourself next in Dublin?
Yeah.
Was your next gym?
Yeah, I had a fallout with my first gym. You know, things were just. I would just say that our paths started drifting.
It happens.
You know what I mean? And then from there, once I separated from my first gym, Warriors, my uncle Jerry Bull had a gym right across the street. Right, he was a karate school, and I started training over there, like right across the street from my old gym. You know,
Would they see you walk by?
Oh, for sure, for sure. Like I was teaching classes and all that. You know what I mean? We had something good going, and then, but even then, like I'd be hitting pads in the street, you know, wherever I can get it. I would have my dad hold pads for me. My brother-in-law would be holding pads for me. We weren't always at the gym across the street. I'd either be in front of my house or, you know, just wherever we can, and. I got hit up by the coach from CSA, Carrion, and he told me, "Man, you're too talented to just be training on the street and not like you need a real home." You know what I mean? Mm. So he invited me over to train with everyone over here. At the time, it was just Gaston, Kevin. You know what I mean? I believe John was there for sure.
And Gaston Bolaños, Kevin Ross, and John Herney.
Yeah. But like, it was just like, all right, cool. And funny thing is, there was bad blood in between us. You know what I mean?
Between CSA and Warriors?
No, me personally, just, you know, because I was
with those fighters, with the guys at the gym.
Just with that gym. Coach didn't like me or anything or none of them. You know, I fought one of their guys for my California title.
Right.
And I won.
Right.
Cut second round through the elbow pad.
You cut him up?
Yeah. And then.
Oh snap! That was real bad blood.
Yeah, and I just, you know, I just always felt like I was being mugged.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When I say mugged, I mean like dirty stare.
Yeah.
Mean mugged. Yeah.
And, you know, after one of Gaston's fights that I was at, it was in San Francisco, it ended badly for him, and I was just on the ring, you know, just being Vallejo. Banging on the ring and, you know what I mean, like celebrating, which is distasteful now that I look back at it. You know what I mean? So they had the right to feel the way that they did. But that's just why there was like bad blood.
Right.
But at the same time, we grew to become family at one point in
How'd you
our
break
life.
that bad blood? Like, was it just over time?
It was over time.
Yeah.
It was over time. You know, I showed up, made sure I was respectful, made sure that everyone knew that I was there to work. You know what I mean? I made sure that I treated everyone I mean, this is just general. You know what I mean? This isn't just to win people over. It's general. You treat people with respect. You show them that you're genuine. You know what I mean? And you make sure that none of your conversations are about anyone else. You know? Like, I feel like those are some of the keys. And just through that process, it's like, man, you know, pretty cool dude. You know what I mean? Yeah.
These are like just rules for living that Eddie's sharing with us, how to be a good person. But I mean, it completely translates when you're trying to earn your spot in a new martial arts environment, especially when the guys on the team are, you know, former competitors. Yeah. Just, yes, be humble, work hard, don't gossip.
Yeah, that's it. Just make sure that all of our conversations are genuine. Like, they mean something, you know? Not saying that you can't joke around. You can, like, we can joke around and make each other laugh and this and that. And I could laugh at your expense. You could laugh at my expense, as long as we're laughing at each other's expense to each other's faces and whatnot. You know what I mean? But, like, for the most part, making sure that, man, what am I getting from this conversation? Just like how we were talking about social media earlier. You could look at just by scrolling past a post that makes you feel bad in any kind of way, it'll like redirect you just for that brief moment. You know what I mean? And same thing with conversations and stuff, you know. Sometimes when we have conversations, it's a slippery slope. We find ourselves talking about certain things, and it's just like, okay, when I come to the realization and I'm like, oh man, like, I need to change the subject, or I need a this and that, because I'm not getting good energy from this conversation.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, I feel like that's it.
It's a boundary.
Yeah.
You're just like, no, these are my boundaries. I'm not gonna. You're curating what information on social media. Yeah. What foods you're eating when you're, you know, in camp, and it's the same with your conversations, right?
Yeah. So I missed this conversation, social media. Did you uninstall everything?
I didn't uninstall everything. I just for this camp, I just took the app off my phone. You know what I mean?
Like full concentration.
Yeah. I'm just fully concentrated, man. I'm in here just, you know, chipping away at the sculpture. Like, that's basically what I'm trying to do, and perfect everything, not let no outside noise affect me in any way. You know, for a number of reasons, not just for the fight, but because there's a number of goals that I set for myself along this fight camp, along with this fight, is to get closer with like make my relationships stronger. That's what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? With the people that I care about. And making sure that I'm not projecting anything and nothing is onto, you know, my wife, my kids, or anything like that. Because like I said, just what we feed ourselves, you know what I mean? Whether it's like whether we're eating spiritually, mentally, physically, you know, it has an effect on us. And if I see, I'll just give an example, right? If I've scrolled past something and it makes me feel like, oh damn, like hella sad, or you know what I mean? I kind of find it messed up that like the next post that I scroll up to is making me crack up. You know what I mean? And completely forget about, you know, like, oh man, that's fucked up. You know what I mean? And then right after that, it may be another like, oh, so and so passed, or so and so's sick. I gotta say a prayer for them, or and then, you know what I mean? It's just constant back forth, this and that.
You're like on a emotional roller coaster.
Yeah, without even realizing it, you know. And I'm getting persuaded one way or another, and it's exhausting. Next thing I know, my patience, my fuse is short for some reason, just because it's exhausted. You know what I mean? And my wife or my kids might say something to me that triggers me, but it wasn't what they said, and it wasn't the circumstance, but it was just because of I'm exhausted, just because I'm scrolling and looking.
It overloads you.
Comments and this and that, and letting comments. I mean, we all do it. Letting comments, like, even if we hop on a thread that we know nothing about, but the back and forth is juicy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's exhausting. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it affects us in one way or another. You know, so it's just like,
And it also has nothing to do with your own personal life, into so you're getting all involved in something that has absolutely zero effect.
Yeah.
In anything. In contrary, it has the contrary effect.
Yeah.
There's no benefit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is one of the reasons why I've chosen to do so. Like, I didn't delete my Instagram. I just deleted the app from my phone. You know, and
So we can still follow you then.
yeah.
Shout out.
And I'll still, you know, respond and everything. But that's like at the end of the day, or
Right.
something. You know what I mean? Because it's just really, it traps me.
That's by design.
Yeah.
And and you have all this discipline and a team around you, and fighting professionally. So there's a lot riding on you, staying focused and keeping that tunnel vision. Think about folks who don't have a gym, they don't have the family, and they're just addicted.
Yeah.
Young people. I think that's by design.
Yeah.
Keeps you distracted, and then you're susceptible.
Yeah. Like, I got all that up in here. I got all the distraction I need up in here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we keep you distracted.
Yeah. In a good way.
I got you, bro. So speaking about Instagram, because I love your Instagram. You're always posting, like, every day. You always. Some of them crack me up. You come up with like funny ones. Like, are you involved in that aspect of your kind of promotion, or who's got your back?
Me and my wife is like, we're a team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's my manager. She's my hairstylist. She's my chef. She's my, you know what I mean?
That's the truth, because I remember we did a photo shoot together, and you came all like wild hair, and I remember that's how you want to take the picture. It's like Bernadette, your wife, I call her B, and then B's like, don't worry about it. You sit down, and I'm making coffee, and I come back, and his hair's all nice,
Sick braids. Yeah.
quickly, like 5 minutes. It was
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was quick.
Yeah.
Usually that takes a while. That's some talent.
Got the hands.
She's my advisor. She's my backbone. You know what I mean?
And you've been together a long time, right?
Yeah. Going on 17 years.
It's beautiful, man.
Yeah,
It's beautiful.
That's amazing.
Yeah, man. You know, when you got something good, you just don't let it go. You know what I mean? And like, people think love is just like honeymoon stage 24/7. No, real love is when you guys get sick and tired of each other and argue and start to nitpick, and it's just like, that's why that saying is, "You're lucky I love you." Or else I wouldn't tolerate you. I wouldn't deal with you. You're lucky I love you. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's not just that. It's also like, okay, like, there's some things that I do that may, like, even small habits or whatever, that may bother her, and vice versa. You know what I mean? Learning I'm willing to adjust because I want to be with you.
It's amazing too, because she's seen you transform and grow astronomically, from the kid 17 years ago to a guy who's going to get on a plane and go fight the number 5 contender in Muay Thai in 2 weeks.
I think astronomically is a phenomenal word, because when we first got together, I was grimy.
Did you have a hip hop name that you were going by?
Grimy Solo?
Grimy Abasolo.
No, they just called me Eddie Ed. That was
Eddie Ed. Okay, yeah, you were Eddie Ed, right?
Yeah. But like, my shoes were talking, tall tees. You know what I mean? Like, just
Vallejo.
Real Vallejo.
Real Vallejo.
Real Vallejo, not Karen. With a hoopty.
With the hoopty. So I still got to become Bay Area.
Oh.
Yeah, what is a hoopty?
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just a little car that you got that is just,
okay.
something that you ain't afraid to challenge someone on the freeway with. You don't care.
Perfect.
Yeah. But I was 225 pounds as well.
Shit.
You know what I mean?
Muscle, or like?
It's hard to see that you with that frame. He walks around, he's like 155-pound fighter, so that's a lot of weight.
Yeah. And you know what I mean? It's just like, I can't believe she went for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was just slowly, like, things just started changing. As I started fighting, I started caring more about my health and, you know, being in shape. And just she taught me how to basically dress. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I had a real grimy Vallejo style. I would just say that.
Yeah.
My style is different now. You know what I mean? Because of her, it's more presentable.
Yeah.
You know
No, I like it because you have your own swag.
Yeah.
It's like whenever I see you at fights and you come out like tip top shit, you got like that's Eddie swag right there.
Yeah.
You cannot be imitated.
Yeah.
Yes.
And like, I'm not even gonna lie. I would say she dresses me because whenever I put something on, I'll ask, you like this? You know, and if she says yes, cool, I'm going out like that. If she says she ain't feeling it, I don't care how I'm feeling or how I think I look. It's like, man, I got a crush on that girl. I want her to think I look good tonight. You know what I mean?
Oh,
yeah,
that's cute. That's adorable. It's beautiful, man. To have that support all through the years and through all the changes, and she's gonna go with you to the fight, of course, right?
Yeah. She, no matter what I wanted to do in life, like, she supported me 100%. Like, when I was doing music, she got me all my stuff. She got the mic, the keyboard, the computer, you know what I mean, the pro, whatever I needed. Like, she made sure to make sure I have it.
Need some kids? She's got it. Yeah.
Everything. And when I did Muay Thai, well, that was rocky at first because you know how girls be when you're at the gym a lot.
Yes.
You don't got time for me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We would argue when I'm on my way to the gym, and it was just like something I felt like, man, I gotta go.
Yeah.
I gotta go. I gotta be at the gym. I gotta train. I don't know. I gotta. And just through that process, she started to understand. One thing she said is, I know that if I wanted to be with you, I had to get with it.
Yeah.
And she started training. You know what I mean?
I see.
Oh, I didn't know that. In my head, I always thought that she was already training and you met at training.
Nah.
No, so it was the other way around?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So she started training, and she fell in love with it, had a couple fights herself. You know what I mean? And it's just like, always supported me, you know. And for real, like, I talk about my sacrifice a lot, but her and my kids they sacrifice even more, I feel like, because not everyone can see the vision that you see 100%. They can believe in you and believe in the vision, but they can't see it.
Right.
You know, like you can see it. And for me to leave every day and just be gone, you know what I mean? And she still hold it down. And my kids still support me. It's just like, damn, you know, they sacrifice just as much too. They're just as strong. You know what I mean?
They're seeing the fruits of it now. I mean, you're reaching the pinnacle of the sport.
Yeah.
And they get to actually have that pride. Like, no, we support this guy because he's as legit as it gets, you know?
Yeah.
That's got to feel so good for them. You know, all of the discipline that it takes to be a fighter, you're giving that to them. Yeah. They see Dad can do this, and so they're going to grow up with that ingrained in them.
Yeah. And that's one thing I wanted to leave them as well. Like, maybe I've never got it because I've never thought it, that I was going to be like McGregor rich or just rich, period. Monetary wise, you know what I mean? I know I'm a rich man, but if I had a choice, I always thought about it like, okay, I could either leave money or I can leave morals. Money can be misused. It can be taken away from them after I'm gone. It can be, you know what I mean, blown or whatnot. But if I leave them with morals, that it don't matter. They'll be all right, you know.
Morals and a legacy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something that, you know, for me, it's like something that you can look up to. It's like this, the name Abasolo will stay on for as long as there's civilization. Yeah, you leave them with that. That's a powerful thing to give, to your kids and your forebears.
Yeah, for real. Because like I have visions and dreams of like my great grandkids. Like, oh man, like he was a fighter. and he was good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One of the best in the U.S., let alone the world.
The best.
You know?
That's right, let's say.
So when you fought the number 2 best fighter in the world, Sitachai, and you gave him a serious run for his money. I mean, he could not put you away. That was a very competitive fight. That's your last fight. It was like 6 months ago?
I think about 6
or 7 months ago. So you fought Sitachai. And then, we were talking a little bit earlier that around the hotel, you'd seen the Thai fighters kind of mean mugging you a little bit. And then after the fight,
not mean mugging. It was just like,
who is this guy?
That's when you were training in Thailand, right?
Yeah.
Just like fight week, right?
Yeah.
Getting up early, finishing his run, maybe while they're just about leaving for theirs, shadow boxing, and they know you're going to go fight their boy.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And then after the fight, though, when they saw the way you performed and like the spirit you brought in there, you had said that you earned their respect. It felt like they were more like,
Yeah, it felt like and it's funny because just getting the nod, like
You got the nod.
The nod.
It's it was like, okay, like I respect this guy now. You know what I mean? To get respect from the Thais in their homeland from doing while performing their craft, like that's, you know what I mean? That's
because you fought at Lumpini Stadium, right?
Yeah, and that was my first time fighting in Lumpini Stadium.
How do you say it?
Lumpini.
Lumpini, all right.
And this fight will be there too, right?
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
round 2.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes it even more epic because this is like, it's like the Americans are now going there and like presenting. This is what you gave us. We're giving back to you guys.
Get the chills, Chris. That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful.
I'm just excited for this fight, man. One championship is fucking making the legit fights that are fascinating. They have a backstory. It's like,
amazing roster of fighters, and that they have that real martial arts spirit.
Yeah.
It's, there is showmanship, but like, we were talking a little bit. There's not so much trash talking.
Yeah.
You were saying you seen a fighter one time jump in the ring afterwards to talk a little trash, and they suspended his whole team, afterwards. And so it's the one is just different in that sense, and they have such a massive global audience.
Yeah.
I think more people are watching one than UFC.
Yeah, they have a lot of viewers, a lot of viewers, and I'm able through ONE FC, I'm able to touch corners of the earth that I haven't yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah. From right here in Pleasanton, California, in the Resistance, and then feeling himself,
that's right.
going global.
That's right.
That's right. Representing us, man. It's beautiful. Incredible stuff.
Well, I just want to give you one more anecdote that I have of you. It's I think one of the Saturday sparrings, and this is the moment I realized that there's levels to this shit, and that you are next level. We're doing sparring. I think the sparring ended, and I asked you for like a second round with you, and you're like, yeah, and you're like, you put on your gloves back on, and we're just going sparring. We're doing our thing. And I think there's one moment where you read my rhythm, and I kind of stopped, and you literally did a jump knee spike elbow to my head, right? And you dropped back, and I laughed, and we kept like going back and forth, normal sparring.
Yeah.
I'm driving back home.
You're haunted?
No, because you have to understand. Not haunted. It wasn't haunted at all. It's like the way you did it is like I didn't even see it coming. You just did the jump knee, spike elbow, and it was a kiss on my forehead. It like landed like ding. I'm like, oh my! Like what completely befuddled me was the ability to control your body.
Yeah.
To the way that you can perform that move that landed perfectly, and I feel it as a nice gentle kiss, and you come back and we continue sparring. I was like, that is next level shit. So Luke Lessay, I am a fan, but goddamn, this man best in the Bay, best in the U.S., and I think one of the best representative of Muay Thai that we have in this generation. So I love you, Eddie. Thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate you. Thank you for doing this interview with us. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Eddie.
The area is coming strong.
Yes,
That's
sir.
right.
Gracias, amigo.
My man.
Thank you, brother.
y'all.
Appreciate
yes,
you.
Sir. Likewise.
All right. New Money Fight Club with Eddie Abasolo. We're out.
Yes, sir.